Ty Bartellin with another edition of Coach's Corner, and it's going to be kind of a season recap and playoff outlook too, because the Crestview Rebels have just come off of their sixth consecutive district championship win. And I mean, boy, oh boy, Coach Auer joining me today. Coach, let's just start right there. I mean, that's an accomplishment in of itself. 6 consecutive district championships. Not many teams can say they can even get to that kind of level. Talk to me about the consistency that it took. Talk to me about the people that it took to make all that happen for you guys.
Well, it's just really amazing. We've had such good players over the years, and like they just they start playing really strong and they just build this program, and then the younger ones want to be at that level, and then they just work harder. And so it's like it feeds itself. It's been really amazing, and I've been blessed to have the players that we've had over the years.
When you talk about this season in particular, I think there was a lot of intrigue with what you were bringing. I mean, you have someone like Abby Emsch to a Pitt commit that everyone's talking about. 25-0 record. You guys are undefeated once again. But I feel like a lot of people see that 25-0 record and they don't think, oh, that team doesn't face many challenges. But I know every team has their own unique set of challenges that each one will face throughout the season. So despite the record being 25-0, what are some challenges you guys did have to face this season? How'd you combat those, and how were you guys able to, I guess, right the ship in any kind of challenges you did face?
Well, actually, we started the summer very strong, and then Lainey Auer had an injury in July. So when we started scrimmaging in August, she was not playing, and it was a very different look. I mean, she's a very huge part of our offense, so that was kind of it was a little stressful for us. Abby had to take a lot more swings and had a lot more on her shoulders. So when Lainey came back, it really lightened the load, and it made the more complete team. So that was the first obstacle we overcame. You get your regular season, everybody gets sick at one point in time, then you got your final tests and you've got stressors. And so like just the normal ins and outs of a season that we've faced. But I mean, the girls just really come together and work together as a team, and they support each other. So I feel like we've gotten through our ups and downs, just like every team. I think if we can stay healthy and keep working hard, that we can continue to do well.
I think you're right on track to do that. We talk about the playoffs too, and I know you and I talked earlier this season in person, and we talked about how the playoff outlook, and one of the first things you said to me is, we still got to get through Mentor Lake Catholic.
Still got them.
Yeah, and they're next up on the chopping block right now. But this is a team though that you guys have consistently played pretty well against too, despite them being one of the best teams in the state. Is it fair to say, I guess, with your girls, do they not look at Mentor Lake Catholic with maybe the eyes that some other teams may look at them as? I mean, it's hard not to, because of the type of the team they are, but I guess with your experience that you guys have had against them in recent years, is it easier to go in these matchups, I guess, and not have that over your head too, that, oh, this is Mentor Lake Catholic?
I think 2 years ago we had that, oh my goodness, this team's ridiculous, like we can't compete. Last year we were able to take a set off of them, even though they were pretty much untouchable. So that was
anyone was beating that team last year.
Nationally ranked. I think they had 4 D1 commits on their team, and at our public small school size, that's unheard of. This year, I feel like they're more human. Last year, it was almost like they were robotic on the court. They did not make errors. So this year, they're still very, very good. They still have a lot of very good players. But I feel very confident that we're going to go in there and we're really going to rise to the challenge and play well on Thursday.
When you got someone like Abby Emsch on your team too, it really helps, because I mean, this is a young lady that is not only dynamic offensively too. For her height, she could play some phenomenal defense. I mean, she's a double every night. When you talk about the style of play that she has, she's going to one of the best teams in the nation too, with Pitt. When you talk about her style of play and what she has meant to this program, what she has brought to this program, how she's elevated it, what are some things you could think of with Abby Emsch?
Well, Ab's a great kid. She works hard and she's always working to get better. She never sits back and says, I'm really good. That's not her personality. Her personality is, I still need to work hard. I still need to get better. And that's why Abby's achieved what she has achieved so far. She's like I said, she's got a great work ethic. She's a great teammate. And she's always working to get better. I mean, on Thursday, I hope that she comes out and has the game of her life, which is very possible because of the way that she focuses and challenges her energy and her motivation. So, I mean, Abby's just been a great player to have in the program on the court, and I'm really excited to watch her play on Thursday.
I love just watching your teams play each and every year, and I love watching your kids in particular and the style that they play because I feel like they're almost carbon copies of one another, but they all can do other things differently. But they're all around players, is what they are. They could pass, they could play defense, they could put it down as well too. When you talk about the time and all of the effort you put into personally with your kids to help them be the greatest that they can be, talk to me about that journey, what that's been like too, and how you've been able to see it out with not just one but multiple kids coming through your program.
Well, I feel very fortunate. I was a volleyball player and coach long before I was a mom. When my kids were growing up, we put them in all different sports, and fortunately for me, my girls decided that volleyball was the sport that they loved. So they've had a volleyball in their hands since a young age. They've been in the gym for a very long time, and they're just well-rounded players. I went to watch Grace play last weekend, and she's been playing right side. She's also a setter. Well, on Saturday, she was a 6 rotation outside hitter, and she did phenomenal. So it's cool that you can watch them not just be good at a position, but good at the game. But I also feel that that's a strength with my program, not just my kids personally, but the kids that we have. Like you said, Abby plays front row and back row, and she does well in both. I think Soph Stewart, she's a setter, but she can also play front row and hit. I think we just have these kids that are good at volleyball, and they can fill the position that the team needs. And I think that's just a blessing to have.
When I talk about your guys' program, even at the younger levels and what age some of these girls start overhand serving, I think some people get their eyes real big and say, what? I mean, it's because you guys, you put that time, you put that effort, a lot of care at such a young age with them. How important is it to get these girls started early at volleyball too, to kind of help develop them into what you guys are able to get them at the high school level?
I think it's really important. I think middle school, you need to teach them the fundamentals, and you need to teach them to love the game. Like when we were watching our middle school play this year, some of the teams we play just keep sending the free ball back, and we're trying to pass that hit. We're trying to overhand serve. So they may not be as successful as other schools when they're younger, but then when they get to the high school level, they have the technical skills. They have the ability to play and do what we want them to do. So they can pass that hit, and their serves just get stronger and stronger. We tell them in 7th grade, you're still going to try to serve overhand, even if you can't, because eventually you're going to get strong enough to get it over, but we're going to teach you how to do it right. So I think that that's really important, is teach it right and make it fun. And I do think that our middle school kids have a lot of fun playing volleyball.
Talking about fun too, I mean, I gotta imagine you're having the time of your life coming back each and every year too. There's got to be that love, that desire to keep coming back and just keep doing this year in and year out, because it's a big time commitment doing this along being a teacher. What's giving you that love, that passion, and that drive to keep on coming back and keep doing this every year?
Well, I mean, like I said before, I played volleyball, and I just always loved volleyball. Judy Gregory was my coach, and she instilled the love. I went to college and played and had a great career, came back and really fell in love with the idea of coaching kids in high school, because, it doesn't consume them. It's not their whole life. They do it because they love it. They're not getting paid to do it. It's not a scholarship for them. They just love to play. They love the camaraderie. They love being around their teammates. So it's been really fun. My coaching staff is amazing. Like, we just love being around each other, and we have fun when we're there. So, I mean, why would they want to play if it wasn't fun? So, we just try to keep it light. This year, we instilled Fun Fridays, where we have a meeting with Mr. Fabian. He's kind of like our faith leader for our coach, for our team. And then we have a fun practice, and then we have ice cream. So, I mean, we try to keep things light, but focused, but fun, because, I mean, they're high school kids. They're not going to be doing this the rest of their life. We want to make it an experience they enjoy.
Kids are always changing, generations are always changing too, and I mean, you as a coach always has to change. From year one as a coach to right now, what's the biggest thing that you think you've changed in?
Well, when I started year one, I was coming straight out of I was an assistant for Walsh University, and that was coming off my own collegiate career. So I was very high level, very focused, very intense. I did not have, I mean, my kids, I had one kid and I was pregnant with my second, and I was like very intense, very, very focused. I think we've lessened up a bit. And it's funny, because players that I've coached in the past will be like, Coach, you're so nice now. And I'm like, I've always been nice, maybe just a little stricter in the past. But, you think you get older, you just kind of go with it. You find what works, what doesn't work, and you just try to put the best of what you've got together and field the best team and see what the players' needs are. Every year, the kids are different.
Do you feel like there's a sort of standard that you and the girls need to uphold as being one of the best teams in the area? Because I mean, some of the best come and try to challenge you guys, knock on your door, and you guys are always up for that challenge too. Do you feel like there's a sort of standard that needs to be upheld at Crestview?
I think that the girls know what we expect out of them, and then they do that at practice. Game outcomes depend on the ability of the players you have. So, especially in a small school, it's going to cycle. We're going to be really, really good for a while, but then you're going to go through years where you're not as good as you were in the past. So, I think we continue to teach the same things at practice, have the same expectations of the kids, and just hope for the best. I think sometimes, even when you don't have the talent that we've been blessed with, you can still win a lot of games if you're structured and you're dedicated and you're working hard.
There's a lot of schools in Ohio. There's a lot of schools in the area. Why Crestview? Why Crestview each and every year? Why has it always been the Rebels that you've gone with?
I went to school here, and it's home. Our kids, we actually open enrolled at Crestview, but we have since the kids were in kindergarten. I just feel it's a good school system. I have a lot of pride here, and I know the community. Our community is amazing. We went to Streetsboro for our South Range game, and we had a student section. We had the gym pretty much full
You
with
guys
South Range
are
and Crestview people. So it was awesome. I just love the community involvement, and I have a lot of experience being here, both as a player and as a coach. I just love this place.
you guys have built such a following for this volleyball team. What was that feeling like when you got the opportunity to, like you said, go back home and be that head coach for your alma mater?
It was cool. Like I said, I was coaching at Walsh University. I was an assistant there, and I had Brenna, my oldest, and that was harder. I realized at that point in time that collegiate coaching was probably not the easiest job to do with a family, and we wanted to have a big family. So when I was pregnant with Mitch, Mr. B actually let me know that the Crestview job was available. So Rob and I had a long talk and decided that I would apply for it. So I actually came here 9 months pregnant with my son, he's going to be 21. Did a walkthrough with Mr. B and took the job, and been here ever since.
What's the first step you take in starting a program and building it to the empire that you guys have right now? What when you start basically fresh, what's the first thing you're grabbing? What's the first thing you're tackling to build what you have right now?
The girls have to buy in. They have to be willing to work hard. Like, we don't just show up at practice and hit a ball around. We have a practice schedule. We work on specific skills. Each team has different needs. So this week we're focusing on getting ready to play Lake Catholic. So I mean, when you start, you've got to get the kids invested. You've got to get them involved, and you got to get them to buy into what you're trying to do. I think a lot of programs don't have coaches that are there a very long time. The longer you're there, the more the program pretty much runs itself, because everybody knows what's expected.
You talk about you guys playing Lake Catholic this time around. I know you got volleyball, just like all their sports, is something we got to focus on ourselves. If we focus on ourselves, if we do the right things, we have a chance. What are the things you're focusing on with your team? What does your team have to do well in particular, other than the usual put the ball down, right? What are some things you're focusing on with your team in particular going into this matchup?
Definitely ball control. So Lake Catholic serves well. Last year they served us very, very well. So we're working on our serve receive, and they have a lot of strong hitters. So, I mean, typically teams have 2, maybe 3 strong hitters, but this team is loaded with strong hitters. So there's 1 setter and 5 hitters on that team. So defensively, we just need to be ready at all times to play every ball and just be zoned in and not expect us to get a kill on every first ball, like we have a lot of times during the season with our big hitters. But just to be ready to play the ball back and back and back and just keep fighting for every point.
Is it tough to try to shore up, I guess, weak spots for a team that hasn't lost yet or hasn't really been tested much this season, despite playing really good competition?
It's funny because for as successful as we are, when we watch it as coaches, when we watch us play, we see what we need to work on. We always see what we need to work on. And sometimes we have to step back and, you know what, we played really good. We need to feel good about that. So the South Range game, I thought we played a complete game. I thought everyone played well, but I still walked away from that South Range game. Okay, we got to work on this for next week. So I think that's just always evolving. Just always knowing that there is going to be a time where we face someone that really challenges us, that may be better than us, and how are we going to play our best game, limit our errors as much as possible to limit their points.
Do you as a coach have to try to balance that out to just like see all the things that need fixed and try to enjoy the wins sometimes too?
I do. And it's funny because especially with my own kids, because I'm always processing, how do we get better? How do we get better? How do we get better? And sometimes I just need to be like, okay, you did great tonight. That was fun, like not like, okay, we need to work on this. So yeah, I've actually, my oldest daughter, Brenna, taught me that early on in my coaching career that, just sometimes enjoy the win, be happy with the win, and then focus the next day on what you need to work on.
Coach, I've appreciated your time. And before we let you go, I just want to give you a chance to just recap what this team has meant to you this season too, and how excited you are going into this matchup with this particular edition of the Rebels.
I'm really excited. Like we've talked already today, I am a mother of one of the kids on the team. I have Lainey, who is my youngest. So it's been a journey. I've watched many, many kids, many siblings come through the program. Abby is the youngest EMSH, and it's her senior year. I have 7 amazing seniors. My underclassmen worked so hard, and it's just been a fun group to work with. I just am really excited that they get the opportunity to play on Thursday, and I really think this team has a chance.
Let's call out that Crestview community, even though I know they're going to show up big time. What's the color? Are we going blackout? What's the theme for?
I think it's crazy black and gold because Amy Blakeman, wonderful team mom, got all these crazy black and gold plaid pants on sale 2 years ago that they've been wearing. So I'm pretty sure it's crazy black and gold, but we'll have to keep you updated on that one.
All right. Yeah. Keep us updated too. And I know Rebels fans, you got to show up and show out. I know you're already going to. It's the following for this team has been incredible, and best of luck to you, Coach. And I really feel like if anyone's going to take down the Giant, it's your Rebel squad.
Thank you.
Yes, this has been another edition of Coach's Corner with the legend, Coach Auer from Crestview.
Thank you.